letter in support of natural resources. So the natural resources agenda doesn't get part of that conversation when it gets wrapped up in the procedure conversation. Natural resources is a critical part of our economic development in this region, particularly when you look at 350 businesses, as I said before, 5,000 people would call natural resources. If you look at university alone, university has 5 research chairs and 6 research institutes associated with natural resources. About 25% of the graduates coming out of university will eventually find work in natural resources. It's an awful lot easier to have an impact on natural resources in industries like the pipeline when you're part of it, instead of being on the outside, being always critical of it. We take an approach that we want to bring innovation to the agenda.
What happened there?
Change the approach. And the results of pipeline development.
They dealt with the process issues, so
no.
I would have liked to have seen a letter of support from council, but hopefully that will be forthcoming with the new council.
Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's better that way.
So we develop those natural resources at the same time, learn skills and develop skills that we can now export globally. That is all the foundation that we want to.
I don't know.
Did you get it fixed?
Who's next?
Did you get fixed?
You know what's the problem? I had too much bullshit in there, so I didn't delete. So I had 3 minutes of bullshit with you, and then suddenly it just dropped.
Stop.
So are you happy?
That's funny.
You happy?
Am I happy?
Yeah.
Just in general? Like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
New council, debate the issue, right?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I think council made the right decision at this time, but, I don't think a lot of people really realize that the letter hadn't been forwarded to the Prime Minister's office anyway, so it's kind of a moot point, really. But the most important thing is, and I think that the mayor and some of the councillors reiterated, that Fredericton is a community that supports natural resource development, and a lot of companies and a lot of individuals that work in the industry in New Brunswick and in Fredericton benefit from resources.
What about this green
resource development?
What about this green city we're supposed to be?
Well, I think Fredericton has done a lot in terms of trying to make Fredericton a green city, a smart city, and we have more engineers and environmental folks in this region than in a lot of other places around the province. So,
what about this if there's a break in the pipeline and it goes down the St. John River?
Oh, I think there's risks in anything that you do. I mean, if I get in my car tonight and drive home, there's no guarantee I'm going to get home safely. There's no guarantee that a gas station down the road isn't going to have a leak. There's no guarantee that if I get on an airplane, that the plane's not going to fall out of the sky. I think everybody understands, Charles, that there's risks associated with anything you do. When they sent people to the moon for the first time, they knew there was going to be risks associated with that, right? We would never get anywhere in the world if we didn't take risks. That's what inventing is all about, right? That's what economic development is all about.
Where are those pipes from? Where are those pipes from? Are they going to be from China? Those pipe for the pipeline?
No, they're made in Canada. They're
Canadian. Are they made in Canada?
Oh yeah, for sure, manufactured. A lot of the steel companies in Canada manufacture steel products.
Not bar from China or Malaysia or whatever.
You'd have to ask the company that. I don't know them, so.
So you said earlier, have not province, talking to you outside.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Have you been to Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
I rode a bicycle across Canada about 30 years ago.
Nice.
It's flat there.
Yeah.
It's flat. If I remember correctly, my legs.
Oh yeah,
flat.
for sure.
Why are you comparing Saskatchewan to New Brunswick? It's different. New Brunswick, there's mountains, there's rivers all across.
Sure.
How can you compare it?
How can you compare? I didn't compare. You just compared.
But I said we're not a have-not province.
Yeah,
He said I did it outward. He said Saskatchewan got to, if they do their share, we got to do ours too.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's different.
But no, I don't think so. I think we've had and have many opportunities for economic development that are not unlike anywhere. And it's not Saskatchewan. It's anywhere in the world has economic development opportunities. The question is, do you make the decision to move forward on economic development projects, or you choose not to? And in New Brunswick, we have a history recently.
I will talk about shale gas too, because of
any resource development project, or quite frankly, of any project, right? If you have to go through proper environmental due diligence, you have to go through proper legal due diligence, you have to figure out whether you have the workforce for a project, you have to figure out, as a project proponent, do I have the money, the resources to actually do this project? Is there a market for my project?
What about Oklahoma? Earthquake. man-made earthquake in Oklahoma.
Yeah, what about it?
Can we have that here? Point a pro and all that?
I don't know. I'm not the person that does the work in the ground, so there's risks associated with anything, like I said.
You know why?
No matter what I do.
You know why?
No matter what anybody does.
You know why they're show gas down the states, right?
Do I know why they're
You know
shale
why?
gas? Yeah, because they decided that was an industry they wanted to move in, and they wanted to be more resource independent without having to import things.
You believe that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God! The landowner gets a percentage.
Yeah, exactly.
They're instant millionaire. North
no, they're
Dakota,
not instant
South.
millionaires,
There are
Charles.
hundred
That's not
thousands.
correct.
They got a royalty check every 6 months.
Okay, but people don't become instant millionaires
No, but
just
down the
because you
States.
lease a piece of land
But
to
they-
an oil
they got a
company or
bigger-
developer.
They got a bigger percentage.
Yeah, people in certain places in the world do get royalties from
Yeah.
resource development.
Yeah.
And that could happen here just as easily as it could anywhere else in the
But
world.
it doesn't. Not here.
Oh, but it could. Sure.
Not like
Sure.
not equal to down the states. but-
If there's private land, then that's between the developer and the private landowner. If a developer needs to do work on a piece of private land, then they need to have that discussion with the private landowner. So,
Do you think if the same rule was down the states as we have here, do you think the Americans would accept it that the government owns, what is it? The government owns
everything below ground.
below ground. It's
Yeah.
not like that down the states. If it was like that, do you think the states would have shale
Yeah.
gas?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I think you'd have to ask them.
See, that's the American way. Money, money, money. Am I forgetting anything here? I'm laughing here.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think that you got to look at a variety of different factors, Charles. Right? There's everything from the economic development piece, the job creation piece. There's an environmental integrity piece, and you have to look at that. And that's why the province has to go through their environmental approval process. That's why the federal government has to go through their environmental approval process. And companies need to respect the environmental processes, which they do, and they go through the processes. Here in New Brunswick, there's been no incidents. We've been doing natural gas development since the early 90s in New Brunswick, and there's been no contamination. There's been no problems that way.
So when the media interview you, should they put the title, we talked about that earlier,
Yeah.
should they put the title under you, paid advocate for the oil company?
Well, my role is as the vice president of Canadian manufacturers and exporters. So yeah, I represent.
Not a
companies.
concerned citizen, like you had me fooled. I had to
I
ask you.
obviously am, or else I wouldn't be doing this job.
You mean
right?
you
I
wouldn't be doing this?
Yeah.
For the
Well,
goodness of your
I'm a-
bar,
I'm a New
for
Brunswicker.
what about for those council that were here for those future kids?
Yeah.
For the future kids, wouldn't you be here if you weren't paid to promote?
Well, of course,
know?
I'm also a father, so I understand, and I hear their concerns as well.
And the fathers, was it more important the economy or the environment?
It's a combination of both. You have to balance both, Charles.
How can you balance both?
Because people need to have incomes, right?
No, we need to.
And either as an entrepreneur or working for somebody, you either take a job with somebody or you start a job for yourself. So my daughter, when she grows up, hopefully she'll either start her own business or she'll take a job with somebody, right? It has to be a balance of one of those two
An old
things.
Indian told me you could drink water, but you can't drink money.
Okay.
Does that make sense? If there's too much money being mixed up with water and it's contaminated, you can't drink it. It's gone forever.
I'm not sure where you're going with that, Charles.
No, I mean the shale
It
gas
has no
and
relevance on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my daughter and her job, but it doesn't really have
The
anything
environment.
to do with.
Charles, can I ask you a
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, okay. Hey, enjoy.
Yeah. No, I'm good.